Okay guys, in this video we are going to be mastering every mechanic in Fortnite. This includes movement, editing, building, and aiming. We will be starting with the easiest and ending with the hardest. We're starting with movement. Let's get into it. For the movement section, I started with watching a video from ItsJerian on how to get double movement. This was a very helpful tutorial, so thanks to ItsJerian for the video. Also, I will be leaving the link to all the videos I use in this video in the description if you want to check them out. But anyways, let's begin. To start off, I practiced just building walls to get the feel of it and like how much of a strafe angle there was, I guess, and just to get used to it. And then I just practiced that for 5 minutes just to get the hang of it. Then secondly, I practiced mantling. I know it might seem like nothing, like it's not important, but it's part of the mechanic. And the last thing I learned was bee hopping. I also practiced this for 5 minutes. And so yeah, and I think that wraps up the movement section. So now onto the building. For the building section, I learned several retakes and building methods. The one I'm showing right now is one of the best 1v1 starts. This is my very first try of it, and this is my last try. By the way, I practiced all of these about 15 times. This one is a protected retake to use if someone places a cone in front of you. This one is my first try, and this one is my last try. This one is another protected retake that is also useful in in-games. Again, this one is my first try, and this one is my last try. This one is a side retake that is useful for taking high ground. That one was my first, and this is my last. The final thing I learned was a way to do infinite 90s. So what you do is you go 1, 2, 3, and then you just place the ramp at your feet so you face up through it, and that just resets your jump fatigue so you can go forever without getting jump fatigue. You can do this for as long as you want, and it's very useful if you need to go very high. For editing, I got on this map called Percy's Edit World. I'll put the code for it in the description. It's basically just a giant box where you can just do a bunch of edits. The first thing I practiced was triple edits. The next thing I practiced was triple edits, but this time you had to put a ramp to go up to the triple edit. I know it seems like a very simple thing, but actually makes it a lot harder. The next thing I practiced was this one where you flip a ramp and then have to do a double edit. This one was one of the harder ones, but it was a very good practice. Then after that, I practiced basically the same thing, except it was a triple edit after flipping the ramp instead of a double edit. Then I did cone edit into floor edit, cone edit into double edit, cone flip on speed boost, ramp flip on speed boost, wall edit into ramp and floor edit, ramp and floor edit, and finally wall edit into triple edit, into ramp and floor edit, into ramp and wall edit. Then to finish up the editing section, I did an editing course. The course was pretty hard and I didn't do the best on it, and I will be leaving the map code in the description. My final time was 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Now it is on to the final section, the aiming. Before I go on, some of you may say that editing or building is harder than aiming, so they should be last. But in my opinion, I think that aiming is hardest of all of them. But anyways, let's begin. For the aiming section, I used an aiming practice map by Raider464. This map was great, and I will also be leaving the link for it in the description. I started with 1v1 cone aim duel. For the gun, I chose to use a Stinger SMG. You spawned in on a cone surrounded by walls. There was one bot inside of there that you had to kill that had about 500 health. You killed him as many times as you could within the time limit. The time limit for me was 3 minutes. Then I did one that was like the last one, except this time you were on ramps instead of on a cone. Then I did a glider tracking one. I suck at glider tracking, but you can see how much I improved. This one was my very first try, and I only hit like 2 shots, but this one was my last try. I also did this with a hammer assault rifle instead of a burst, but the recording messed up and I couldn't put it in the video. Then I did another one called Orb Target Switch, where you had to shoot an orb and then it appeared in a new random location and you had to quickly move your crosshair to shoot it. Then I did a tracking one where you slid down a ramp and had to shoot a red line and had to keep your crosshair on it. Then the last one I did was where you shot an orb and then it launched you into the air and you had to flick and shoot it again. The very last thing I did was another map by Raider464. This map helped improve my movement, building, editing, and aiming. I will also be leaving the code for this map in the description. This map is a realistic box fight. You can literally go forever without the game ending. This map is great, so thanks to Raider464. This video took a long time to make, so it would greatly help me out if you could subscribe, like, and hit that bell so you never miss another video. Peace!